How's it going, everybody? I'm here with the Gregtech 6 update for today, and the main change is we have one of these, a multi-tool, a pocket multi-tool. And if we look for the recipe, look for my receipt for it, you can see it's a screwdriver, a saw blade, a file head, 2 sword blades, and a chisel head with 2 rings and a plate, and of whatever material you want to make it out of, 72 different ones, at least in this pack. And it gives you your one of that material. Mine is made out of tungsten carbide. So it starts out with 2,048,000 durability, and all the tools in it are level 4. And you shift and right click on anything that is not able to be used with that tool. So I use my brick floor, or you can use a chest, or you can use a crafting table, and that'll switch your tool to each different one. It tells you down there at the bottom which tool you're on, and then it'll work as that in any of your crafting recipes as well. Alright, so let me get the actual changelog up here. It says added the pocket multi-tool. It's kind of like a Swiss Army knife, a Greg Army knife. It is a knife, saw, screwdriver, wire cutter, chisel, file, and scissors all in one. Tool select via sneak right click on something that can't be used by the current tool. Alright, so I think I might have not said it. This is the Gregtech 6.03.25 update, but I'm sure you know that because it's going to be in the title of the video. First thing that was done was fixed non-radioactive naquadah wasn't replicatable. Note, naquadah gens in the future will only run with radioactive naquadah, which can only be gotten from naquadah ore processing. So naquadah is not something I've ever really gotten into, even back in Gregtech 5. But that would mean that this enriched isn't going to exist, I'm guessing. You're going to have this ore here, and when you process it, you're going to get just the naquadah dust, and then you have to centrifuge the purified to get the enriched naquadah dust, and that's the one that's actually radioactive. You can see by the tooltips there. Let's see. Saturation values for solid foods was fixed. The drinks are intentionally left unchanged since they aren't supposed to be used as foods. So I'm not real sure if that has changed from my Steam sandwich there, but it now says saturation 1.6. I'm thinking that might actually be a little bit better than it was, but I'm not sure. An internal change was assigned food values to fluids rather than to bottles, and let the bottles detect the food value depending on their fluid for somewhat useless fancy future stuff. The only change you should notice for now is only an additional line on tooltip of the honey bottle, nothing else. So we'll look up the honey bottle here, and there it is. Honeydew, food 2, saturation 0.2, and the honey itself is food 1, saturation of 0.1. So that's your only change that you can see. Let's see. Oh, this one's a big change here, which I kind of have some questions for Greg about. And that is IC2 machines have new recipes. So they are not deleted anymore. And we'll show you the first one right off the bat here is a generator, which has a power output of 10 EU a tick max, just as usual, but it now needs a steel steam turbine, a steel steam boiler, a steel burning box, liquid, not quite sure why it's liquid and not solid fuel, and not sure why he uses a steel steam burning or turbine rather than a bronze one, because that's the one that would actually work with this dynamo. But an electric dynamo, a basic machine casing, a circuit, and I do believe it's tier 1 minimal, but can't frickin' tell because of the flippy thing. There it is, yeah, tier 1. And then for some reason, any of the RE batteries from low voltage, I would have expected it to be a Redstone one, or whatever is equivalent to the max EU a generator can hold, but apparently any of them will work. A wrench and a 1x copper cable. So very, very expensive. Oh, there you are. I heard you, butthead. Get away from me. Alright. Now, for the rest of the generators, they're all going to have the same recipe, except you can make a Gregtech or a IC2 solar panel, but you need a generator, a crystal silicon plate, circuits, and copper cables. The windmill is going to be magnesium, double steel plates, a generator. This is an expensive recipe for something that only puts out a max of 5 EU. Holy crap. But if you need one for something really basic like a farm or something, you can make it, and it'll give you basically infinite power, just at a very slow trickle. Semi-fluid generator hasn't changed. The geothermal has not changed. Sterlings and all of these that I looked at have not basically changed. What about the watermill? Watermill has changed. It now uses curved aluminum plates to make it. Your reactor is still the same. So the main difference is your generator cost there. Everything else is pretty much the same here. Alright, now also the machines themselves have changed. You have your macerator, which I obviously couldn't spell, which is steel gears, basic machine casing, and MV compact electric motor, 2 circuits, and these look like they're tier 2. There might be a tier 1 in there somewhere, but all I've seen so far is tier 2 and up. And then 2 diamonds and your wrench, and that'll make you a regular macerator. And let's see. Ore washer, I know, has a new recipe now. It is a sluice with 4 circuits and a basic machine casing. Thermal centrifuge has a recipe as well, and that is 4x copper wire around a steel centrifuge, a basic machine casing, and 2 circuits again. Now, the one that I actually have a question about is the extractor. If I can spell it. It uses 2 pumps a basic machine casing, a circuit, 2 1x copper wires, and a wrench to make it. So a pretty simple recipe once you get circuit making under your belt. Not going to be too difficult. But if you look at sticky resin, the recipe that it has for the extractor is still 3 rubber. Where if you do it in a centrifuge, you get glue and 144 latex. If you do it in a squeezer, you get 144 latex. And then the latex goes into the coagulator, as you know, 16 for 1, which means every sticky resin is 1 rubber. So in essence, with him leaving that recipe the way it is, you would either have to be a hardcore Gregtech player that's only going to use Gregtech machines and not IC2 machines, or dumb not to upgrade to the IC2 extractor as soon as you can. It's going to take up less room. It's going to create 3 times the rubber for your sticky resin. It's just as automatable. So to me, if he's wanting people to stick with or use Gregtech machines, he should nerf that in there as well. But that's for him, not for me. I'm just reporting what I see. Furnace has changed as well, the electric one. The iron furnace, Spiker was asking me about that, is still the same. But the electric furnace is basically the thermal centrifuge, but with 1x copper, basic machine, 2 circuits and a wrench. Induction is the same thing for X copper cables with a wrench, a circuit, or 2 circuits and a machine casing. And then the blast furnace does not have a recipe. So you cannot make steel the IC2 way. You have to make it the Gregtech way, or Railcraft, Immersive Engineering, any of those others. But you can't do it with the just oxygen thing. And let's see. I'm going to skip the next one for a second so I can do what I was actually out here for. He added crops of Pam's Harvest Craft are now harvestable with a Gregtech sigh. So I made a sigh. I never use these things. I don't think I've ever even made one, but I made one for this, and you'll see. Why are you not doing all of them? It actually did earlier. I was testing it to make sure it worked properly, and it actually did. So I'm kind of confused on why that didn't that time. Let's go grab some bone meal. And no, I'm not planning on making raisins. That was Crazy's doing. She came over and helped me set up for the update today, and I asked her if she wanted to go plant me a little 3x3 of crops, and I got grapes. I think that was her joke that I could make raisins now. So let's grab some bones, and we'll make us some bone meal. Got some extra already downstairs, so I'll grab it. And real quick while I'm in here, I'll show you the other thing that's changed. Where did I put it? It's got to be in this bag. Any mining tool of Gregtech will now place torches with a right click. So you can see that with the drill it works. And if I grab my construction pick here, it will do it as well. And you can't break them with the pick back, so you don't have to worry about losing durability by trying to take them back. Now, will a shovel do it? Yep, shovels will do it as well, so there you go. Throw that back up there. And we'll go see if I can figure out what I did wrong with sawing this thing. And there is one other more technical thing, which is the 2 redstone control covers now have the ability to invert them. Something that I had asked for my thing there, so I'm going to go test that out in a minute when we get this done. So let's do this whole plop of it here. And like I said, I've never really used these size before. It doesn't really tell you other than used to mass harvest crops, so I'm not real sure. There we go. So I was on that one and it did all of those, and that one did all of those. Not real sure why it didn't work. And by the way, this is just a little testy thing. I don't know where I'm going to shove it in anyways, that somebody left me in a video, and that was if you wanted netherrack, all you had to do was put it underneath a terra wart, and your terra wart would give you nether wart instead of terra wart, and no, that doesn't work. And he said that snow under nether wart would give you terra wart. That I haven't tested yet, so there's your testing of that one. And yes, I did actually break that after placing the terra wart and then let it grow a whole nother cycle. I didn't just think it was going to change just because I put it under there. Alright, so now we'll come in here and we'll look up the redstone here. And let's see if we can find this cover here. So you got redstone machine switch. Now use screwdriver to toggle modes. And then you have this one here, which is the auto redstone machine switch. Says the same thing. And I have this one here. Let's see if I got my crowbar in my bag here, which I usually do. Alright, so pop that off for a moment, and we will pop that off. This is the redstone machine switch here. And if you remember from me testing this, I couldn't do anything with it. That's why I had this here the way I do. So let's grab my multi-tool here, and we will switch it over to the wire cutters, and we will cut these wires off of here. And I've got to decide exactly where I'm going to put this though, because that's not going to be needed anymore. Throw these in here for the moment. So I should be able to change this to the screwdriver. Do that. Runs when input is off or runs when input is on. I do believe, if I remember correctly, I want it to off. And see, right now it is running. I want to take them off of there because I don't want it heating this up at the moment. But I'm going to work on this, and I'll show you guys exactly how I get it set up in one of the regular videos. But for now, that is it for the update video. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed and learned something. If you have any questions, as usual, you can feel free to leave me a comment, or you can go to Greg's IC2 Gregtech 6 forum page and leave him a message there, or come and join him on the Gregtech Dev IRC channel. Have a great one. See you later.